guess.
A big component of the art department is the construction of all these sets. It's a lot of construction.
I worked here, originally I went to America and we discussed what we were going to do, and I came back and I worked here in Sydney and made some plans, and then Hugh came on for a while and we worked together, and then we started to shoot.
We've got 16 sets up at the moment in the 5 stages. They start shoot today. One set, and some of the sets we're in are in for only half a day. There's a lot of movement between areas in the second film that moves at a pretty fast pace, so they do a lot of sort of travelling between spaces. And 5 stages and 140 sets in 8 months is a bit of a nightmare. So it's going to be pretty tough for those guys for the next 8 months. This is our usual Monday afternoon comedy review, where we try and go through everything and see if we're up to date. So we should get our first rushes clearance on Monday and go and start pulling down the sets. As soon as you start building, start pulling them down. That's great. This is the coordination area of the art department. Being such a big movie, we need to have a few people around here who take care of us and take care of day-to-day business. Art director's den. They do what art directors do most of the time. The design, the heart of the construction area, these people take care of all the plans for all the sets after the concepts are done.
There's 3 art directors. We split up the sets into our various components and who was going to do what. So most of the super brawl is all mine, and Catherine's doing a lot of the Zion stuff, and Charlie's doing a lot of a lot of fight sequences and a lot of second unit.
Computer design area. We have various things. Jonathan's doing the Sentinel. Andrew's been doing a lot of the Zion stuff that we had started in America. We're finishing off over here and turning into working drawings that our construction guys can understand and read. Screen graphics area, which we're doing our own in-house manufacture of all our screen graphics for the Nebuchadnezzar, the control room, and the whole interface is happening in this area over here. Basically, by having it in-house, we get to fiddle around more with it and get more out of it rather than farm it out. We have in this building in a minute a set design department, set decoration. We've got our coordinating department up there with PAs and apprentices and all sorts of people. And on the other half of the building, we've got about another 50 people over there who work for the prop manufacture department. They'll make up all props and dressings and weapons that the wire guys want to use, and just about everything.
Just a smooth left to right. That's enough. Very smooth look down.
Everything I think flows from Larry and Andy's mind, and to be able to take that along with everyone else on this kind of journey from being a written word to a drawing on a piece of paper to an image to something that's physically built or imaginarily built in a computer, it is a wonderful thing.
It's a typical and a beautiful shot for second unit. Second unit excel at this type of work. This is what we're made for, we're designed for. We love blowing things up. Basically, I think the job in the second unit, particularly my job, is to get the stuff that the main unit haven't got time to do for whatever reason. Did you get the impression about companies too, maybe?
Exactly, sure.
It's like the wreckage that's left over. It's 3 different scenes every day, bits of stuff that we started shooting 10 months ago. Moving, sort of heavy bits of metal through space very precisely, incredibly fast.
We've been doing different types of things, from traditional second unit work, like the classic insert of bullet hitting, to a lot of, visual effects-oriented shots. My direction comes from the brothers, so in conversation with them, I'll talk about the type of thing they want. There might be a storyboard reference or a pre-visualisation, which I can work on. So it starts off with a conversation, then I might go and set up a scene and show them, is this the type of thing you think? They might say, yeah, but maybe change the angle.
We should do one version where he just glares at him and slams it, in case the dialogue is intercut in that other scene.
So it's a dialogue that goes on, but the end result is to get what they want for their films. See, this is what second unit do. This is a lovely Saturday, really hot, sunny day in Sydney, and the brothers said you have to get out in the city and shoot cars and shoot backplates, and you'll see it appear in a scene. Right, okay, fine. Seraph driving the car on the way to the Oracle.
I have to see her.
Second unit on the Burly Man operate at their best when they're left to their own mad devices.
3, 2, 1,
We did some of the Super Burly Brawl, where we put a camera up on the roof and it was isolated and spinning down. We liked that one.
I suppose we did do a majority of Trinity Falls, with the exception of maybe one shot or something like that.
Thank you very much.
The very high-speed track we built, which basically comes past Trinity and pans and sort of goes away from her to represent her kind of falling down the building. That was 5 months of working out how to make a camera go that fast safely and pass Carrie-Anne Moss by about 1.5 foot past her shoulder. You're a little late. Should I touch earlier, yeah?
When I had the first conversation with the brothers, and they said that it wasn't enough work for them to just do the 2 sequels. They had to do a game as well. Well, in fact, the first day I started, we had the Hong Kong Wire team. We were doing a big stunt sequence with Roy Jones Jr. And I thought, well, this is the first day. It doesn't get much better than that.
1, 2, 3!
In fact, I went up to Wu Ping and said, it's a great privilege to work with you, Wu Ping, and somebody pointed out, well, actually, that's not Wu Ping. That's Fish, but this is Wu Ping over here. That was my beginning, day one.
Which, in particular, was your favourite shot?
The one up on the tower there. That it actually turned out to, I think, to be the best angle to shows off the entire set, shows off the entire explosion. It's the only angle that really gets the whole event in the one shot. It's a cool shot. This scene is actually sort of equates a little to the fireball explosion in the government lobby in the first movie, we shot that as well, and that was a lot of fun because the flames are great in slow motion. You get to get down there in deep exposure and you get the really great colour out of the flames and fireballs kind of rolling across the ground and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a signature thing in the Matrix.
Julia and I had a thing going for a while there, but her teeth were a bit too big for me. She's got some big choppers.
The second unit to me is like a mad European family. There's a lot of crazy things happening. But generally the mood is pretty good. We try and keep it up because by the nature of the type of work you're doing on second unit, which is at times it can be a laborious task, so we try and maintain a lighter air to the sense of humour about it. So.
Yeah, blowing things up for those of you can't understand.
Oh no, it's White Island's good. White Island's good. The light's better over here. Give me a more specific question.
It's just a huge thing. It's like the scale of it. The density of the filming is enormous.
The other day somebody said, what do you think about scene 727? That's scene 727. It's like, how can you hold 727 scenes? And there's 760 or something in these two movies.
Action!
It's a different movie in some senses than the first one. It's a larger canvas. As a painter, you take up a large painting and a small painting. It's an entirely different feeling that you're going to come up with. The tools you'd use to make one are not necessarily the tools you need for another one.
Left high school, I went to University of Virginia and went to the architecture school there. My parents gave me the money to go to Europe for the summer. And I went to New York on the way there, and I never got to Europe, actually. I just took film courses. So then I went to NYU graduate school, started concentrating on shooting movies, moved to LA and MTV, and here I am. I remember when I started a movie a long time ago, I was doing a lot of MTV, and the director wanted me to do a feature, and she was concerned that I had done so many short projects that I wouldn't have the stamina to last through a feature. Well, the first movie I did was Dark Man. That was 119 days. Army of Darkness was 118 days. We just did 267.
My job is to actually be there and think about the shot one chain link at a time. And if I go too far into the future, inevitably there's a mistake on the set where I should be. So I live only in the present. It evolves while you're doing it. It evolves while you're making it up. It evolves while they're lens up, while you light it, from take to take. It's constantly changing. Take 4 is not like take 3, and in the brother's case, take 57 is not like take 22.
I don't know. It's hard to tell what it really looks like.
People are constantly coming up to Larry and Andy and saying, what's going to happen in this shot? And they say, give me the viewfinder and give me the actors, and I'll tell you what's going to happen in this shot.
You could do your profile as you like.
Tom profile, you mean? Yeah, but I thought it would be a better cut to go this way if you want to come in on that angle.
It's not until you actually do it that you know what it's going to be.
They, like the best directors, put their brains on the screen. They put their own desires and wants and concerns on the screen.
They care more about composition than I care about composition. And that's why they line up every shot with the finder first. They're extremely specific about it. You know, when you short side, when you're framing somebody, they're talking this way and you do this, or you force somebody against, you force people apart, you can just say alienation. You always try to find a way to do whatever they want to do. Sometimes you have to tell them no. Sometimes it's just impossible. I'm sure they even thought about actually building Zion. I'm sure it'll be slightly smaller than Sydney. And let's build it in the middle of the earth. Why not?
We did the freeway scene in San Francisco because there's enough stuntmen in America to do this freeway scene. And they drive on the right side of the street, and the runway was available here. Once you get past all the physical stuff, is getting the camera in places where it hasn't been in most car chases. But really the hardest part is that Larry and Andy wanted to shoot the sequence in content continuity on a freeway which goes east-west and north-south. Hasn't anybody else told you this stuff? The Burley Brawl is not really a challenge to me, that's a reward. Burley Brawl is a long period of time in a place that I have total control. Perfect size place, perfect facility, plenty of room, enough time and money to prep it. Nice.
system working here is sort of a hybrid stereoptic camera.
So they could do head replacement, basically. So you have a stereoptic view of the actors, so they could locate them in space, and they could replace the stuntmen's heads with Hugo's head. And this sequence is because of we wanted a ethnic mix in the crowd of thousands that can be found in Australia. It's a bit of a hardship sometimes to work in an aircraft hangar because it's not made to be shot. There's like 60 girders crossing right there over Morpheus's head. It drives me crazy sometimes.
The Matrix Code was originally conceived to look like rain. It was supposed to look like water coming down the screen. So when you actually have rain, you of course want to allude to the Matrix Code rain. So you want everything that can look like code to remind you of code. So we wanted fat rain, which we ended up with large nozzles and huge amounts of water. We used some different shutter angles. We used some drop frame stuff. We used strobes. Again, it's always a combination thing. This works for this shot. This doesn't work for that shot. This works for that shot. This doesn't work for that shot. In good effects movies, that's usually what it is. You arrive at any effect, any end product through a number of different means so that as you see it in different points in the movie, you can never quite put it together how it's done. It also, it lends it a life. It looks more organic that way rather than predictable. The lightning is entirely timed to the performance. The first time we ever did lightning was when Morpheus turns around and greets Neo, and the lightning strikes are absolutely specifically timed. In the end, we just cut to the chase and gave them the lightning boxes and let them do the lightning. And being excellent at video games, they were perfect.
Set, and action.
Hey. Can't sheep at home.
Why? I get paid to count sheep here. Are they giving me some dialogue coaching?
You say sheep.
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 Sheep. Sheep.
Hey, I haven't signed a release for this sort of treatment. You know, I've spent 4 or 5 years on these 3 movies. I've never had any other job for 5 years. Got a long day. I don't know. I don't think I can sum it up, really. It's going to be years before I can sum it up. I may name other movies that I think of that are as important. Hopefully I will, but it will probably be the major work of my life. Grip electric camera crews are world class. They're as good as any crew in the world.
My name's Brownie. I'm one of the key grips on the job.
My name's Reg Garside. I'm the gaffer on Matrix 2 and 3. The electrics in Australia, we look after everything that's got to do with lights, including all the C-stands, the cutters, the gels, the diffusions, the blacks, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Let's put the water on.
In Australia, the grips are obviously in charge of all the camera movement. You put up the green screens, general support rigging for electrics on set.
Or was it the circuits are off? That's why it didn't work.
We do total support structure for the camera department.
I was good. A little bit later on the glasses.
The movie is so big, so complicated that they run their own fiefdoms.
It sort of comes down as a rimmer, so it should run that way.
I can adjust that lights up here if you just lock it off there.
We run a 24-hour-a-day grip department, 5 days a week. The scale of these movies is no way you could build this in the morning and pack it up and go home at night.
Brownie has to run his ship, and Reggie has to run his ship, and they consult with me, but we're all 3 equal. Many, many creative decisions are made solely by them.
This afternoon.
Yeah, if we say in the Mega Man.
What Bill does is he tends to leave a lot of the set lighting to us as a lighting department.
Reg moves ahead and lights the sets in advance. We talk about it, but specifically, I don't really know. You know, I want a soft light here, and I want a hard shaft there, and I want there's some explosions, and this has got to happen. And Reggie was, I can just see him going, okay, I need to get lightning strikes, and you know, it's like flicking them off.
Is that light coming into here?
No, it's not, mate. What I've got your lads used to do for me there is take it off and use atmosphere. When you work with a guy for a year and a half, nearly 2 years, it's, you know, it becomes pretty easy. Your thoughts are almost the same.
He'll light a set, I'll go by and put my 2 cents in, which I've never done with anybody else, really.
We use a lot of soft lights, a lot of bounce lights. There's not very many hard lights. A lot of our sets we've used up to 1,000, 2,000 cans in the roof just to get us up to the light levels we need. Light up, please, Scotty. We had a lot of light up there. We had a lot of light. Just have to move this around, mate. Just need to get another reading on this. We've wanted to light for speed because, you know, we've only got a certain amount of time. So we could shoot virtually any way at any single time. The brothers like to be able to shoot all over the place.
There's one thing I want to say about the grip department. I won't say it on film, Mark.
That was our leader. And the rigs for cable cams and flying cameras was probably the highlight from a gripping point of view of what all the lads done. That's very impressive. And that speed is variable. The expectation that's laid out and passed down the line is obviously ginormous. You've got to do a lot of controlling to keep what they need of the camera. Matrix introduced us to visual effects with green screen and blue screens.
Yeah, brought into being just a green screen unit or a blue screen unit. And basically their job is to go around and obviously blue and green screen all the stages that we need.
That's a car.
It's a huge effort to do. You can see this set here, this is in the real world. All the colours, they tend to lean towards blue. So we can't use any blue screen around them because we'll start losing them when we start digitising and mucking around with them in visual effects. So that's why we've gone with green. Vice versa, when we're in the Matrix, it's green, so we have to use blue screens. What we've got here, guys, is we've got a designated wet area and a dry area. All our cables are being kept off the floor because of any mishaps, anything happens. People walking around, they traipse water around with them when it gets wet. There's 700 amps of phase running around underneath all this rigging here, which is a lot of power.
Biggest problem was liaising with special effects, figuring out where their water's going to go, and then making sure that everything that we've got rigged above around the set is fully protected, no one gets electrocuted.
Action!
These guys have upwards of 2 to 3 stages being rigged all at the same time. We've had 160 sets to do on this job. It's been a pretty mammoth task. And these guys here are responsible for that.
Grips and electrics are got to be a very close bond. I never think twice about what's hanging above my head, and that's a credit to them.
Oh, look, what does it say? What?
Over this last 12 months, we've probably crammed about 5 years' worth of film experience just into this 1 year.